My name's Garey and I'm the local coffee guy for the Nelson area, mainly doing workplaces and functions and AMP shows and such like, supporting local charity events, and I'm a real avid coffee lover. I drink quite a bit. I've been doing coffee for 2.5 years. Interesting job, meet all sorts of people, which you do. Just, you've got to have a peripheral view on conversation and opinions. And along with the coffee comes a wee bit of sarcasm. Most people have a sense of humour, which is great. And I quite enjoy it, I really do. Well, the coffee machine itself draws 3,400 watts, which is more than my welder. So yeah, you need to have a decent power source. So the generator that I've got from Proline works brilliantly. It is. It's more than adequate. It's not working hard all the time. What I do in the mornings, I get the machine and the boiler all up to temperature with ground power, with mains. And then I flick the generator on so it idles to running temperature. And it runs from my place from Tasman, 30 k's to where I park up in the morning. May cut in probably 4 or 5 times to keep the temperature up. Well, originally when I got the coffee van, it had an Onan, which is a Cummins clone generator. A good generator, but it run at a constant 3,000 RPM all day, every day. So as to keep up with the charge rate and on top of the coffee machine. And its kilowatt capacities was just adequate for what the van required. So I couldn't really put any extras on the 230 volt main system, such as a fridge or whatever. I'd overload it and the thing would just kick out. And unfortunately, we had a bit of a water accident in the back there. The main pressure thing burst and hosed it down with water. So we all know what happens with electricity and fresh water. So that stopped. So I had to get a replacement and had to get it pretty quick. So I chose Proline. The noise factor of it is when it's running and it's working, the noise is obviously going to be slightly greater than it normally is on idle. But I find it really tolerable for what it is. What I have done though, I have put a sound barrier between the front of the van and the back of the van where the generator sits, so that if I can talk on the phone, I can talk on the phone, things like that. Well, the coffee machine's it's Italian, okay, and like anything Italian, it's quite complicated. But to replace, they are quite expensive. They're up between sort of 8,000 to 9,000. So you've got to make sure that power consistent's not starving the machine, or because it'll trip it out, or if you overload it or anything like that. GT6000 works really, really adequately. Make sure everything's soundly earthed is a big thing, so that you've got a completed circuit there. I find it excellent. It's more than adequate for what I need, and it's really, really good, and it hasn't let me down. Very, very happy.